How's it going, everybody? Starwin here with another marathon submission. This is going to be Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth any percent normal. So, little backstory on this game. So, at one point, Konami was like, "Hey, we should redo some of our IPs. Let's put some life into them." And they were like, "All right." So Castlevania, and then Contra, and I think there was another one I can't remember. This game is like a remake of the Game Boy game, the first Game Boy game of Castlevania, and it was, Castlevania The Adventure. And man, that game is hard, and it's very, very bad. It is probably one of the worst games in the Castlevania series. Now, this game, however, is really, really good. And a lot of people don't know about it just because it was only released on the Wii, but it's a absolute banger of a game in terms of like traditional Castlevania gameplay, and my god, the music is amazing in this game. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to be commentating over my PB, which I think is like 5th place right now on the leaderboard. I don't remember. It's been a couple of months. Alrighty, so normal, any percent normal. All this is just playing the game normally. I don't even think there would really be a 100% category for this. Normal, just traditional difficulty. All the enemies are going to be in the same places. If I were playing on like hard, or for example, there'd be a lot more enemies spawning, and it's kind of arbitrary difficulty. It's not too well thought out, in my opinion. And then easy, you don't get knocked back, and you keep your hearts going into the next stage. And what is it? I think that's it. I think the enemy placements are the same. So yeah, for the most part, the first stage is kind of straightforward. Just walking to the right. It's Castlevania. Like, what do you want me to say? Our pro tag of the next 20 minutes or so is Christopher Belmont. Featured in this game and the original Adventure and Belmont's Revenge. I would say if you're going to play this game, play this game. Do not play Adventure on the Game Boy. It's too rough. This part's really cool. Like, you don't really have to dodge the bats, even though the bats look like they're actually hitting you. And this thing right here, it looks like it's gonna hit you, but it doesn't. Like, your hitbox is like in the center. It's almost like a shoot 'em up hitbox. All right, mid boss. 6 whip strikes, and usually he behaves. Sometimes he likes to spawn in weird spots. Oh, it's 7 whip strikes. I'm bad. Sorry. It's better if he, dies on the right, but it really doesn't matter. We collected a key. That's just going to let us be able to go this way on the stage. These stages usually have multiple branching paths. And, of course, we're just taking the path that, is quickest, because this is a speed run. Using the clock sub-weapon to freeze all the skeletons and the fish enemies. One big change that's to this game compared to like older Castlevanias, like especially some of the original ones, you can control your movement when you jump. You're not like stuck going one direction. Like, your momentum is not, stuck. All right, first main boss, Big Eyeball, and yeah, this boss is pretty straightforward. Bounces like a ball, and he poops out eyes. An eye that poops eyes. I don't know, man. Come on. And then orb. I guess should we scream orb? Is it tradition? Do I have to scream orb? We can just scream orb. It's fine. We will make it funny again. All right, stage 2. Stage 2. Again. This game really doesn't have any, like, glitch tech or anything. That's one of the things I like about some of these Castlevania games in speedrun style. It's just execution. I love just raw execution-based speedruns. Like here, for example, like, whipping right there to, like, make sure you're hitting both enemies. And there's, like, a completely different method to even game past those 2 enemies. Like, you can do something different, and it's just as fast. And then doing, like, specific movement here. We grabbed a power-up to our whips, which is the fireball. That's what that little green bar is. that was in the original game too, but in that game, in the original, if you get hit, you lose that power. Here, it's just on a time limit. And then we're specifically collecting hearts in certain places so we can abuse the watch, even though we're about to not use the watch anymore. This will be the last time. Because these jellyfish enemies are really obnoxious. They aggro the ever-living crap out of you. And then we have a little auto-scroller section. So, again, this is a good spot for donations and what have you. There's going to be a cross right here. It kills every enemy on the screen. Boop. Just like that. The game doesn't have a lot of auto-scrollers, and thank goodness. There's a stage in the original that's just like dodge spikes the auto-scroller, and it's really, really hard. I guess that's a little bit of speed tech. Right there, I threw an axe because if you axe or do like a sub-weapon as you're falling, you don't have a landing animation, so you can immediately start moving. You can also do it without a sub-weapon. You just whip right when you hit, right before you hit the ground, and then you actually recover a little bit faster. So minor things like that are pretty much the name of the game here. I pick up the cross right here. You don't need it. Which right here, I'm like, where is the axe? I know there's another axe in here. I need the axe. Yeah, I'm so smart. All right, time for a big spooky greenman, who's also a stoneman. He goes, meh, and he punch. As you can see, this is why we need the axe, because he likes to just jump in the air and throw rocks like an idiot. This is what we want him to do. And of course, he's not doing it. And this is how you're not having a good fight, when he transforms into the tiny version of himself and starts jumping on the walls. There we go. And of course, getting rid of the hearts by throwing the axes, so this part of the screen will move faster. What's really crazy is, like, I PB really hard, like, in this run. Like, I think that was the worst stage. Like, the rest of the stages are going to be pretty good. Now comes, like, one of the best songs in the game. It's New Messiah from Belmont's Revenge. God, this song is so good. If there's one thing that I love about picking games to speedrun, it is games that have bangers like this, because my god. So yeah, really cool axe movement right here, like getting rid of enemies with the axe. We're going to be hanging on to the axe for a little bit, because it's so strong in this this level. This is kind of like an auto-scroller part, because we're having to wait for spears, but it doesn't take too long. I'm going to stop hitting my mouse. That bat got owned. He got poked by the spear. I didn't realize that happened. That's funny. Alright. Gonna whip right here and throw the axe, so we get the fireball upgrade, while also, you know, damaging the fire skull enemies. Just optimal killing of enemies. Honestly, the scariest enemies in this game are the blue skeletons, or the ones that throw the bones. They are obnoxious. All right, cool movement right here. We're going to be abusing the whip thing. Like right there, I'm whipping for my movement. To be immediate. Don't have to worry about the recovery frames. And then we're going to break a secret wall. And then right here, we're going to take damage intentionally right here, because it doesn't matter. We don't really need health for the stage. And we're going to do a really cool fall right here. Boom, land. You have to be quick, because those platforms will break. If we fall below that spot, we have to go a long way and fight a mini-boss, and it's not fun. This way, we're skipping a mini-boss. Ooh, a little too slow. You usually can get past that third spear, but you have to be... Again, this is a high execution game. As are most Castlevanias. I'd say all Castlevanias are high execution. But this is all this game is. It's just like... Holy crap, like, high-level gameplay. Like, this game and, like, the other good run I do that's very similar to this is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon low percent. It's just execution, raw execution. No big tricks, just impressive gameplay. Like, right there, dodging everything without having to really kill anything is really cool. And we're already at the boss. This game only has 6 stages, 5 levels, and then the last stage is just fighting Dracula. So this, I can't remember what this enemy's called, but it's literally just a boss or an enemy from Symphony of the Night. And we're just going to abuse the living crap out of it with the axe. What you want is him to get lower so you can whip him because it does more damage, but we just got bad RNG right there. That's just what happens. But it really doesn't matter because we're just going to keep throwing axes and it's just going to kill him. It's not the worst thing in the world. Orb. Woo. Alright, stage 4. This is my favorite song in the game. This song is so good. And it's like loading music from like Castlevania Chronicles, which is like a PS1 remake of a game that was like on a Japanese computer system. I can't remember which one it was. It's like the X8 something. I can't remember. I'm a retro guy and I don't know things. Don't hate me. Oh, don't hit by the bone. You see what I'm saying? Man, they got aim. We crush all those guys. Yep, the second you get underneath the chandelier, some chandeliers, they'll fall. Right there, that's like one of the only real tricks in the run is a damage boost. The second we go into that room, we jump forward, and it triggers that enemy to poke with his spear. You just have to immediately jump again, and just where it hits you in your hurt box pushes you the opposite direction, so you don't have to like actually climb stairs, and you don't have to like mandatory like kill an enemy. Like you just get to keep going. All right, this area is like a maze, and we need to get 2 keys, but we're gonna kind of cheat the game right here. We're gonna reveal that key with the axe and grab it like without having to go over there. So that just completely skips having to go a long way around to get that key. And the next key is like super close. Like it's just right here. Like we were just here. And then when we open up this next door, it just kills all the enemies in the room. So even if like that scythe was thrown at me, it would just disappear. Stupid frog throwing the swords in a bad way. Yeah, this is the one stage, like, so the first 4 stages are not super heavily RNG'd. It's really just up to, did you get hit a bunch? Can you damage boost in certain spots? Like right here, mandatory damage boost, or just, I wouldn't even say a boost, just a mandatory hit. That, you know, it's easier. Don't have to, like, worry about hitting the rats. Right there, landing by whipping and being able to recover really quick. And then we're already at the boss. This is just a small vertical climb section. And then we're going to get the cross, and we're going to keep the cross for the rest of the game. Cross is really broken for these the last stages, and then, of course, Dracula. Here's Golem. He spawns babies, which still managed to get up there. That's bad. Yeah, so this fight was a little bit rough. Usually you want to 3-cycle this guy. We're probably only going to get a 4-cycle. Because when he drops enemies right here, they don't always fall in the same spot. Like, I swear they'll sometimes be to, like, the far left of the hand or something. And if you pay really close attention when I'm whipping his weak point, sometimes a whip doesn't do damage. I think that's just the game trying to be like, hey, you can't kill this thing that fast. So, like, sometimes 1 health bar could be, like, 2 hits. Oh, I did 3-cycle him, so that was really lucky. But of course, he still jumps, which means you lose time. What he said. What's really crazy, though, is even though that jump right there that he did, if he would have landed and hit me, I would have died. All right, so now we're the hardest stage in the game, and then, of course, this is like the biggest reset point in a speedrun. Health being a factor. The stage is incredibly long. It's really hard. Lots of enemy RNG. Man, this stage is tough. That has a banger song, though. See, like right there, already taking a hit is so bad. And we're going to sneak a jump up there so we can not have to go all the way around. One thing I want to make clear is as stages progress, you actually start taking more damage. So this stage, yeah, that health bar looks really nice, right? Yeah, 4 hits and you're dead. And that's no bueno. All right, this next room is super difficult just because there's the eyeball enemies, the ectoplasms trying to hit you. You really have to take your time and actually hit everything because you just can't dodge everything. It's so hard. And then right here, there's chances of ghost spawning to like completely ruin where you're going to be. So like right there, I have to back up and waste a little bit of time. It's not a Castlevania game without a clock tower stage. And Medusa heads, of course. Alright, next room is a little annoying. Well, it's not this room. The vertical climb here is pretty easy. It's the room after. Those little walking armor guys that you've been seeing, like, if they aggro you, they're just going to keep walking, and it's really annoying. I'm going to grab that health right there, just because you really want to have full health going into this next mini-boss, but hey, what are you going to do? Almost got clipped right there, too. And that movement right there, specifically, is just to be able to get past that red moving hand, like, immediately. Alright, spooky Frankenstein monster. He shoot electricity. I'm going to keep whipping him until he gets knocked back, and then after this attack, we're just going to walk forward into him and get launched to the other side. He's just going to keep attacking and be dumb. So that's a way of getting around it. Thankfully, getting hit by him, you don't take, 4 hits of damage. You only take 2. That's why it's okay to take a hit right there, because it's really not a big deal. I know I said earlier that we only had like 1 real damage boost, but here's another one. I totally forgot about this one. That one's super easy. Just jump into the enemy. But you can kind of see, like, you want to have health coming into these parts just because, like, you're going to be damage boosting. And these next few screens are just ruthless. Like this screen, we're going to have 2 skeletons throwing bones at us. And then we have a bone dragon that we have to kill. While having to pay attention to, like, hey, are we getting bones thrown at us? So right here, we're 1 hit and we're dead. The checkpoint would be right here, but I would lose the cross. I would lose a lot. So we don't want to die. And then this Reaper gave us bad RNG. Sometimes you can, like, even fall on that first platform and not have to worry about him. And he almost hit me right there. You're really supposed to throw a cross behind you, just in case he does throw a scythe. 1 more auto-scroller, and then no more auto-scrollers for the rest of the game. But it's crazy to think that, like, this PB is like a 21-20-something, and we're almost at 17 minutes. It's crazy to think that there's only 4 minutes of the run, and we're only, like, about to be done with Stage 5, and then we have 3 stages of Dracula. Like, final boss is 3 stages. It's pretty crazy. And of course, the boss for this stage is death. I mean, come on, it's the boss fight before Dracula. It has to be death, right? All right, this room can be kind of sketchy because it's like, are these guys going to throw a bone and hit you? Because they can. We're going to try to ignore enemies until we get to spots where we don't, like, miss cycles in these platforming sections. Because these pendulums are going to be moving the exact same way every time you enter the room. So as long as you, like, have good movement, you're going to be able to make your cycles every single time. And that guy's just going to fall and die because he's dumb. Right here, this part's a little tricky because we're going to be throwing crosses. We're trying to hit all these things and not get hit by bones. That was really close. Like I said, 1 hit and we're dead. And this is the last hard screen. Got to put ourselves really close to the edge right here. And keep jumping. Just be able to make this cycle right here for that pendulum. Throw across, just so that stupid eyeball doesn't hit us. And then right here, we actually get some health back for death, so... death's not too bad. And then we can get some hearts right here. We really don't need any more hearts, though. Like, even, like, right there, 20 could have been fine. So pretty much the whole trick is hit, throw, like whip, throw, whip, throw, whip, throw. Having the cross out will also hit some of the sides. You can kind of see that the sides really weren't hitting me right there, just really good. And that's death. That's a better death fight than you would see most of the time. It's hard, man. That's a really hard fight. And sadly, I don't get all the hearts down because the cross takes 5 ever to return to you. All right, time for Dracula. So yeah, quick. So this is a pretty quick speed run. Good for Castlevania block. Good for good anywhere. It's just really quick. Dying. There's a lot of checkpoints. So even if dying, this is okay. This is safe for a marathon setting. There are backup strats, or if you need a cross or something, there's other spots you can get it. There's only like maybe one spot where dying would be really bad, but it's not a hard spot.
The ally of worthless humans.
Oh yeah, Dracula voice acting. So here we go, just traditional Dracula fight right here. He's gonna start with his human form and throw fireballs. That's pretty much all he does right here. It's best to get about 3 hits in every single time for an optimal fight. And I think you're allowed to miss once. I think you're allowed to miss, get it like 1-2 cycle. So right here, we have like an extra cycle. Now for Cookie Monster form. And now he's going to start jumping. After this one, he's going to jump to the right. And now he's going to throw fireballs. And now he's going to jump again. That's pretty much this phase. Nothing too difficult. So we had 1 extra jump. And now we have just big Dracula head. So we get rid of the mouth first, and then he'll lower the head. So once these things start glowing up top, we're going to start hitting the head. So it makes these platforms appear, and you want to do whip, throw, throw, whip, throw, throw, and then you want to jump whip. That's usually how you want to do this fight. Whip, throw. No, it's whip, throw, whip, throw. Yeah. So optimally, we would have killed him right there, but just bad patterns. He gave us the blue balls, and it's really, really annoying to deal with. So yeah, that's adventure, and time's coming up in like 2 seconds. I think it's a 25, 26, yeah. So yeah, that's Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth. Again, like I said, it's a game that not a lot of people know about. It was stuck on the Wii, and it's never been put on anything else since. But it's a great remake of the Game Boy game. The Game Boy game was so bad, and I'm glad it got redemption, because holy crap, it needed it. So, hope you guys take this into consideration for your marathon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Appreciate it.